one. Good luck, runners. Good luck. Time to finish.
What is up, everybody? The Midstate Massive 100 is complete in the books, and we have a shiny new belt buckle that I have actually worn a couple of times. That thing is an absolute dinner plate, and it looks a little bit ridiculous being worn, but I'm going to throw it into the rotation just because these are such good daily reminders of the pain, the suffering, and the awesome achievement of running 100 miles in the mountains. I'll keep this intro short. I did get a lot of footage out there on the trails. My one crew member was filming the aid stations where we had crew support, and I was carrying my camera for a little bit. We kept getting lost out there, or all the runners kept getting lost out there, just because this trail is very segmented. So a quick recap of the course. The Midstate Massive is a 100-mile race that starts in New Hampshire, goes through Massachusetts, and then we just quickly touch Connecticut and then do a J-turn back into Massachusetts and end in Douglas State Park. There is about 11,000 feet of elevation gain, and the bulk of that elevation gain is in the first 30 miles, where we have a couple of really steep climbs. There's like 6 good climbs, and then we go down, and then we have a big climb up an actual local ski resort. And that was the biggest, hardest climb of the race. So, you know, you kind of destroy your legs in the first 30 miles, and then you have 70 miles of about 100 feet of elevation gain per mile to get through. Before we get into it, I want to give a big shout out to my solo crew member out there. I didn't have any pacers or extra crew members out there. Very skeleton crew, kept everything very precise. Me and Green actually served in the 75th Ranger Regiment together. We lived together, and we actually went through selection rafts together. So I have a lot of experience with him. We have a really good repertoire. We know how to work together in, crazy situations and tactical situations, whatever. We know how to work really well together. And it was amazing having a brother out there just that we could, run into an aid station. I could tell him what I need. We could talk a little bit of shit, make a couple of jokes, and then just run off into the woods again. Everything was very precise, minimal, very easy in all these transitions. But all right, let's go. I hope that you enjoy my journey with the Midstate Massive, and let's go and let's get into it. Let's go. All right, so here we are on the Midstate Massive 100. This morning was a little bit crazy. Had to get everything ready, jump in the car, but on the course and just trying to take it easy. The weather is absolutely perfect. It's around like 59, so kind of chilly when you're not running, but when you're moving and you take everything off, it's nice and perfect. So hopefully not much rain will fall. It's supposed to not fall until maybe later in the night, but pretty much perfect conditions. Just really having to focus on making sure I'm not getting too excited, chasing people down, which I have no business doing, and keeping my heart rate low. So my heart rate usually bumps up about 10 to 20 in the first 5 or 10 miles, just because of adrenaline and excitement and everything like that. So just kind of mitigating my excitement and mitigating my heart rate, keeping it nice and low. But I have about 5 more miles to the first aid station, and like 22 miles before I actually see my crew. So let's get into this run and let's get going. But feeling good, got good sleep, got good food, bunch of sushi, bunch of noodles, some ramen with extra noodles a couple days before. So really well fueled, and just got to keep at it. But let's get on this trail and let's keep moving. stations. So this aid station was at 22.1 miles. There's 2 aid stations, one at 8 miles and one at 6 miles. Basically, they were just water points, check-in points. They had some food in there, but for the most part, there's not much nutrition that I took from there. Just kind of refilled my bottles and went from there. I always like to carry little packets of Tailwind with me just so I know exactly how many calories I get. I usually take 200 calories of Tailwind, and then I eat about 100 to 200 calories of either gels or goos. And I try to average around 300 to 400 calories during these 100 milers every hour. So from this point, everything was running well. The knee wasn't giving me any issues. My legs weren't giving me any issues. The nutrition was going well. I think I only got lost like 1 or 2 times up at this point, maybe 1 time up to this point. The biggest part was just kind of not chasing people or running with packs that were faster or slower than me. So at the very beginning, I was talking to a lot of runners. I was having a good time on the trail, but my heart rate kept spiking and lowering too much. So I made sure that I made some separation with these packs of people, so then I could really focus on having a nice standard pace and a nice standard heart rate and really running my own race. That's how I'm successful myself. I know a lot of people have a lot of different techniques where they like to zone out and talk to people, or they like to be above, or they like to chase people down. What really has helped me, especially in these longer distance ultra marathons around like 50 miles or 100 Ks, especially with the 100 miles, is just really running my own race and only focusing on my perceived effort instead of chasing people down or trying to stay with people. So once I got to the aid station, it was a really quick transition. We already knew exactly what we wanted to swap out. I got more gummies, I got more Tailwind, got a refill on my water, and I was in and out of there probably within 5 minutes. And as you can see, I'm still walking good, still moving good, and still running well. All right, let's get back into it.
Hi, Wayne. Smash.
My brain just goes pop. I got it.
I'm fine.
Hello. Where we at?
Way down here.
Let's grab another. I gotta grab my headlamp just in case. Thank you. I'll grab my headlamp.
I got you. Yeah.
And then one more packet of Tailwind. And then give me a packet of the clef blocks too.
The gel or the cubes.
Jesus, this place is busy.
Yeah, there's like a ski and snowboard swap meet going on.
Oh, nice. Is this where the aid station is?
Yeah.
Oh, nice. Get this one. I'll grab this.
This one has powder in it.
Fill that one with the powder.
All right.
I got 2 in the back, 1 with powder and 1 not, right? Yeah.
You should have one in the back.
No, I got 2. I have the next one. And then,
Okay.
there's cubes right here. Oh, I was just gonna add 1. Just in case. I still got 5 hours, 4 hours. So I won't see you again for what, 6 hours? About
that, yeah. You said
22
you do want powder in this?
Yeah. 22 miles, right?
I think so.
You want to carry it? Yeah, it's I stuck
Oh,
my feet.
I didn't know I had my battery pack with me. Thanks.
Oh, that's okay. Henry, get your seat and buckle up. Maddie, get in and buckle up. Because we're
Well,
going
that didn't quite go as I wanted it to.
You guys want to go see the top of the mountain? Okay. This sounds terrible.
Yeah.
Drink our water.
No, I'm good.
You good?
Yeah. No, I'm good.
What do you need?
I should be good. And then, can you prep another bag?
Yep. Of gummies?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hope you did. It's in your hand.
Oh.
What are you, drunk?
What are you high?
So they've been giving their number at the water coolers.
I'll be there and I'll have to direct you. Do you have a specific request?
What do you want ready at the next?
Same.
No food?
Yeah.
You have watermelon?
All right.
I got another half. You want another watermelon, you think? Or you think you'll go
You can either go up here or over there.
I got another bowl.
It goes to the same point. Bye, Wayne.
Bye. Everything's feeling good. Legs are still, they're not destroyed. They're starting to get a little heavy. I just got done with the big summit, the biggest summit of the race. So the hardest part is done. And now it is just me against pretty much myself and my legs. So trying to mitigate going too fast, making sure that I'm eating enough, and making sure that I don't, you know, take the wrong turns. So little cues or little things that I've been feeling that will probably affect me later down the road. These stupid shoelaces for the Olympus sports are cutting into the top of my foot. I'm wearing the chest strap for the first 50 miles just because I wanted to make sure that I wasn't pushing it too hard for the first 50. But yeah, that's basically it. I mean, feeling pretty good. We'll see around mile 50 how I feel. The knee, I've been fighting against a patella tendon. The knee has been holding up, and I don't want to jinx it, but it's been holding up. I took a little bit easier taper than I would. My legs were a little tired, and I think they finally just woke up. And the knee, the patella tendon is not affecting me too bad. But let's keep going. Let's keep moving around 13-minute mile pace. If I keep that up for the remainder, anything under a 15-mile pace, I'll be happy. But let's get back on. Let's go. After the summit and working my way down the mountain, it started moving into the darkness. The dark times. The climb up the mountain wasn't bad. I made sure that I went really slow and really conserved and not blow out my legs. And then even on the way down, I wasn't bombing down it just to destroy my quads. I moved a little bit quicker, but I was making sure that I was just falling down the mountain and not sprinting down the mountain or breaking down the mountain, just trying to be as efficient as possible moving up and down that mountain. When I got to the bottom, it really started transitioning into darkness, and we had about 20 miles until we got to that third crew supported aid station, and that was actually at mile 50. So it's mile 50, mile 50.2, and also it's dark. So this is when the wheels start coming off. This is when people start turning into zombies and hallucinating, just because we've been out there for 50 freaking miles. I was still feeling pretty strong. I was feeling really well. I was still at my 300 to 400 calories per hour. and I was probably actually almost drinking too much water and too much Tailwind because my stomach was starting to get upset with all those calories in my stomach, which actually really, really helped me out around mile 70 and mile 80, just because I had an abundance of calories in my system. But let's get back into it.
Hi, Wayne.
Hello.
Yep. 23.
No problem.
You have it, Bim?
It's on his
Oh, there he is.
Yeah. Just make sure you lit up when you leave, okay, bud?
Oh, yeah.
All right. Go
Thank
back out the same way you came in.
All right, thank you, sir.
Good job.
How's it going, buddy?
It's starting to be real. I think I should be good until our next meeting. And I'll probably start struggling.
Okay.
That's good. Oh, no, it's...
No, you're good. So, no fork for the cup of noodles, so it should be cool enough to just pour in your face.
When's the next aid station?
I'll bring it up. I have it all listed out. I can't
Is it
remember.
another 20 or is it 13?
I can't remember.
I'm gonna change my shirt. I'll put on grab me that long sleeve.
They say you had to check in again when you're leaving?
Huh?
Did it say you had to check out?
I don't think so.
No. Okay.
Bye, boss.
Bye, Wayne. Hi, Wayne.
I need to take a break.
Okay.
I need a Red Bull in my life. My legs are starting to get really fucking heavy. I feel like shit.
And
That is all.
you still got 40 miles.
57-mile check-in. I feel like shit.
Yeah.
I'm gonna carry my trekking poles for this portion.
Okay.
Just to see how these shoes perform.
That's chicken.
All right.
Because they have less grip. So.
Gotcha. You can do it.
Right down here. Right.
Just follow the red lights.
Dude, I've got that so many times.
That sounds like a recurring theme with everyone here. I've heard.
Dude took off like way down the road when we were trying to figure out where to go. He just took off. We were like, oh shit. He was gone. We like couldn't even see him.
Huh.
I'll see you in 15.
Bye, Wayne.
15, right?
Yep, 15 miles. Hi, Wayne.
Oh, I had a little tick on me.
It's 5 a.m. How did you find a tick?
I don't know. Not happy with what's going on.
Well, yeah, can't blame it.
Let's get a bag of baby wipes just in case.
Bag of baby wipes.
My asshole's so chafed. It's like, what the fuck can you do for your asshole? It's like you're just fucked.
Yeah, pretty much.
You know where I'm going.
Well, the arrow pointed down here.
Am I back on the road?
That's my best guess.
That's
Oh yeah, he's taking off. Because there's a yellow arrow right there.
okay.
So,
I'll see you later.
bye, Wayne.
You gonna meet me at the next one?
Yeah.
Alright. All right, so I wanted to let those nighttime clips play out a little bit just because I wanted to give you a good sense of the deterioration of the runners out there, including myself. This is really when the wheels start coming off and people start turning into zombies, just slogging down those trails and trying to get from aid station to aid station, trying to get to their crew members and scarf down as much food as possible. In the darkness, these were the three big issues that I ran into through that mile 50, through that mile 80 mark in the pitch black. Number one was my shoes, man. My shoes were absolutely killing me. My much loved, I've always said such good things about the Olympus 4s, but they started to fail me around mile 50 through mile 60. I was getting really bad heel lifting. I think it was just the expanding of the shoe after getting stretched out for 12, 16 hours straight of being worn and pounded on. My heel really started lifting, and how I usually mitigate that is cinching it down with a runner's knot. So my laces are very tight. But once again, those Olympus 4s have a ridiculously thin tongue, and I could feel the laces just digging into the top of my foot. Actually, after the race, I had bruises on the top of my foot and slight little cuts on the top of my foot from the laces digging in there. So I had to switch to the Torn 5s at mile 57. And it actually seemed to help a lot. Those Torn 5s are really light. They're really comfortable, but they do have some pretty intense arch support that they just decided to throw in there. At the end of the race, I actually had some like red marks right on the inside arch of my foot where you could see it pressing on the arch of my foot. And it was slightly bruised and really sensitive to the touch. So I know it was that arch support that was causing me the most pain with the Torn 5s going from mile 60 until the completion of the race. Moving on to the second big issue during the night was nutrition. Man, my body really stopped, wanting those cleft blocks. I had no desire to eat anymore, and then probably around mile 50 I had no desire to eat them, and then around mile 57 is when my body just refused to take in any more of the cleft blocks. I would put them in my mouth and then instantly want to, throw them back out. I didn't throw up on the trail. I never threw up, but it was pretty close. So instead of forcing myself to, take in those cleft blocks, I just increased my caloric intake of Tailwind to 300 calories per hour. And then at the aid stations, I would actually grab potato chips or any other refined carbs that I could find at the aid stations. And I'll probably talk a little bit more about that, but it really leads into number 3, the GI issues that I was experiencing during the nighttime. And I think that was just because there was way too much sugar, one kind of sugar in my system. So there was way too much, cleft blocks, goo, gunk in my stomach, and my stomachs really started getting really acidic-y. At a certain point of the race, every time I would start running, I could audibly hear my stomach going blah blah. It would go blah blah, and then I could feel the pressure go down into my stomach, and then I would feel it trying to come out. And you know exactly what that means. So I would have to dig a hole, deal with that acidic business, and then keep running. It didn't really affect me too much. I mean, I had to pull over, of course, and deal with it, but I was still running. I was still moving pretty well. Switching to the refined carbs, the potato chips, really helped that stomach issue, that GI issue. And then probably around like mile 60 or mile 57, that aid station, I ate a plain white bagel. And I'm pretty sure that plain white bagel helped absorb whatever acidic demon monster was in my stomach. And it really started feeling a lot better by the time the sun came up. So adapting and overcoming, rolling with the punches really helped, and helped resolve not only the nutrition issue, but also the GI issue. But other than those issues, I was moving pretty well during the night and into the next morning. And I was running all the flats, I was running all the declines, and power hiking up all the hills, which was my initial plan, even up into around mile 90, I was still moving exactly the same. My pace was pretty consistent throughout, and I'm still super, super proud about the amount of movement and amount of running that I actually did on this course. All right, so let's get back to the race. This is the first aid station coming out of the night into the morning. We're just gonna let the clips play out into the end. We'll see the finish, and then we'll do a quick outro. Let's go.
Hey, Wayne.
I got lost again.
I saw you get lost.
It's like a goddamn nightmare.
Yeah, they don't have many signs up at all.
Well, it's like, hey, get off the Midstate Massive. Okay, get back on. All right, get off. All right, get back on. Get off, get off. It's like, ah.
That's weird.
I don't know what to do.
How's it going?
It's all right. That looks like a penis.
Nice. You can go check it out. So Wayne, it's mile 79 or 82 if you get lost. You have any words?
I'm at 82.38
Word.
because I got lost 5 times.
Bye, Wayne. $8:30.
But how long ago was the Red Bull in Thailand? Was that 4 hours?
Just like shivering and hating life.
Did you see the muscles like twitching?
Yeah.
Like going this way?
Honestly, I don't know.
I think so.
You may want to clarify with them real quick. I think so.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
Bye, Wayne.
Thanks for helping me out with this.
You're welcome. And he's off. And he's off.
All right, so that was the Midstate Massive 100. Finish time ended up being 25 hours, 59 minutes, and 10 seconds. We ran into that finish line. The atmosphere was absolutely amazing. I had to cut off the audio on the clip just because, you know, copyright rules on the Grindstone 100 video. Actually got a copyright strike because of the music in the background. So I had to cut off the audio on this. They were pumping music, there were food trucks, there was non-alcoholic athletic beer that they were giving out for free. And it ended at this awesome state park like picnic area with a beach and a beautiful lake. All the leaves were changing. It was all beautiful and pristine. And the one thing that I wanted to do when I crossed that line was jump into that water. That has to start becoming a tradition for the Midstate Massive 100 is jumping into that water, because I ran right into that water and did a little dive, a somewhat dive, but let's try to make that into a tradition. Anybody that completes the 100-miler, you have to jump into that river, wash yourself off, wash off all that blood and dirt and everything that you picked up during those 100 miles, come out a clean and fresh new person. It was absolutely amazing, and I highly recommend anybody that runs that Midstate Massive in the future to jump into that water, because it's awesome. It's just the cherry on the top of completing that 100-miler. But this video has become way too long. I'll probably get into specifics in other videos. I'll probably do a breakdown of my change in nutrition, the change in training for my first 100-miler and my second 100-miler, some shoe reviews and other reviews based around this 100-miler and the training leading up to it. So make sure that you like and subscribe. We're gonna have a lot of more videos coming in. This isn't a one and done or a two and done kind of YouTube channel. We're gonna keep racing, we're gonna keep training, we're gonna go hard in the winter and try to come out in the spring and do something epic. I still have that goal of going sub 24 hours for a 100 miler. And now I have a little bit more experience, a little bit more time, a little bit stronger legs, and I know exactly what I need to work on to get that goal done. But other than that, what this 100 miler really taught me was consistency is king. Every single day we work towards our goals, we become average savages, we build these freaking Ranger legs, we get out there, we take some fucking heads, and we kick fucking ass, because that's what we fucking do. Get out there, get off your ass, and fucking crush it, whatever it may be. Running 100 milers, being the best accountant, being the best mom, whatever the fuck it may be, you be consistent, you fucking grind, and you get your ass out and you fucking do it. Let's go, let's get it.
And
Highway.